poppin' everybody? This is Sabro594. Gonna be showing you guys a Feraligatr Prime deck profile today. I meant to make this video months ago, around the time when my computer broke down. That's why it didn't happen. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in my last DP deck profile. I believe it was on Salamence and Blaziken level X. But regardless, I got one piece on my brain, but I really wanted to make this video because in my head, this is a pretty underrated Prime. I mean, it was kind of meta when it was the hard gold, soul silver, black and white sets in that early period, 2011. Not very good, but around then people sort of saw it as a viable card. But in the DP hard gold era, I don't think people really saw it as meta, and I think it's a shame because with the right list, and I think if you play it right, it can be pretty deadly. So let's get to the deck profile. Obviously the sets are going to be DP through Unleashed. Technically you can play this through the Majestic Dawn, Call of Legends format perhaps, if you want to do like the DP era where we got the first rotation, not the first DP sets rotated, but it's better if you do DP through Unleashed, and you'll see why soon. So let's start. We got the main card, of course, it's going to be Feraligatr Prime. You run 4, got 3 of the regular ones and the tin promo here. But basically this card is just an excellent stage 2, 140 HP, the best you could ask for really. And Rain Dance is exactly the old Poké Power, the original Rain Dance Blastoise started with. Attach as many water energies as you want, only on water Pokemon, but it's still really good. And its Hydro Crunch attack, it's pretty solid as well, especially considering you can use this Poké Power to power him up. So does 60 for 4, and then it's going to do 10 more damage for each damage counter of the defending Pokemon. So if your opponent's Pokemon had a few damage counters, was sort of slightly hurt, even just 20, 30 damage counters, then this is going to do like around 80, 90 for 4. And with the additional damage counters they got from the start, it's usually going to be enough for you to 2-hit KO any Pokemon basically. Like if they got 5 damage counters, you're doing 110 for 4. That's really strong once again. So this is a very good 2-hit KO machine. A little bit of spread here and there. He's going to do the finishing touch. And he'll be able to survive as well. I mean, they're going to need to attack this at least 2 times with big attacks to kill it. The grass weakness might give it some trouble against Jumpluff and other random grass decks, but you'd rather have this as opposed to being weak to Lightning, being weak to Luxray. You'd rather have the grass weakness, which is another thing that sort of makes him viable, I want to say. Okay, so we max this dude out, and it's going to be our main attacker. And the reason why you want to do DP through Unleashed is to run this guy, 4 of the Croca from Mysterious Treasures. So this is a very strong card when you look at it, and it's once again sort of an under the radar card. So when you evolve into Croca with Evolutionary Vitality, then you can reveal the top 5 cards of your deck and grab any energies you find there and put them into your hand. This includes special energies too, and non-basic water energies. It doesn't have any limitations. Now I only run water energies in this deck, but this is still a really good thing. It's going to help you gather those energies and just combos off with this guy's Poké Power. Gather those water energies, attach as many of them as you want, set up a bunch of attackers. So that's why you want to favor this card and try and evolve through him as opposed to just rare candy or any other method. So we get those energies hopefully. Even if you reveal 1 or 2, it's amazing. It's a plus. So gotta run this guy. It's a Mysterious Treasures card, so if you would do Majestic Dawn hard gold, you wouldn't be able to run him. So might as well. Okay. And then we do 4 of the Totod. Now, sadly, I don't have the Totodals that I really want. This one, hard gold, is better because it just has more HP. This one is worse with 50, and I mean, I guess you can do a free 10 attack. This guy needs an energy to attack, but you'd rather have the HP. I guess maybe the second attack is better, the lightning weakness is worse, but you'd rather have this for the HP, but it's not really gonna matter the total that I'll use. And then I do one of the Kyogre. So you could technically do more of this and favor this guy more as opposed to being just a backup attacker, but I have a different line of Pokemon. That's why I only run one. I have several copies. I thought of running more, but you know, you discard a lot of energies to make his attack. He does decent damage if they don't heal the spread, but I just have one as a good little opening Pokemon and as a different attacker, backup attacker. It's a great Pokemon stat-wise, 100 HP. Lightning weakness, that's the worst thing about it. Another thing that sort of dissuades me from using it. Luxray kills this in one shot, always. But Drizzle lets you grab basically 2 water energies free from your hand and attach them, so it's really nice. And once you get rid of energies that way from your hand, it's going to make your Professor Oak's new theory more effective. Just any shuffle and draw support you use. Pretty good. The high tide attack, I sort of touched on it. It does 60 for 3 as it shows here on the card. And then you discard 2 energies and then you do 20 on all of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So it's a lot of damage if they got a full bench. The cost is kind of big too. Discarding sort of makes sense in this sort of a deck where we can accelerate energy. You can meet the cost and we can recover energies too. But I have him as a sort of backup attacker. And the reason for this is because we run this guy, the Bronzong from Majestic Dawn. I do 2 of this guy and one of the Stormfront 1. So this card is a free spreader basically. Since I run the Bronzors to run the Stormfront 1, might as well run this, I thought. It kind of combos with Feraligatr. We can have this in the beginning and it's going to spread damage for free on Pokemon with Poke Powers. Then you can also do Pain Amplifier, just free damage counters on everybody. And it sort of sets up all of your opponent's field for Feraligatr to come in and finish them off. Now this obviously, it depends on what Pokemon your opponent is using, having Poke Powers and such, but most of the best decks, they're always going to have something that has Poke Power, whether it's Claydol, whether it's random Uxies, other random stuff, they're always going to have something. So you'll be able to spread a lot of good damage around. And it has a better weakness too. Weakness to Psychic, that's a lot more random than being weak to Lightning, like the Kyogre. And I decided to just favor this, have the deck be a little bit more creative. I think they make a good combo with Feraligatr, but you could definitely just drop a bunch of these and favor more of the Kyogre if you want. It's free, and that's the thing. Its attack is fully free. You can just have this do stuff while you're just setting up the energy slowly on the Feraligatrs. So these sort of things here and there make it a good package and make it an appealing partner for Feraligatr for me. If you don't know what it does, I guess I should maybe read it. Basically, as long as this guy active, you can put 1 damage counter on all of your opponent's Pokemon with Poke Powers between turns. So this is going to add up. And then the Pain Amplifier, you do 1 damage counter on all of your opponent's Pokemon that have any damage counters on. So, spread basically. Okay, and then the one Stormfront Bronzong, you would want to have this regardless whether you run this dude or not. And that's because this guy's a Poke Power, works perfectly in our deck. You can put a card from your hand back in your deck and grab 2 basic energies from your deck basically. So it's like a Professor's Letter every turn with a cost. So this is very effective for us to gather water energies and power up Feraligatr. That's why it's good. And that's why I got the copy in. And then you also get the bonus of running this guy as an attacker too. Okay. Then we do the Bronzors. It's basically going to be 3 of the Majestic Dawn Bronzor. This is the best one because it has free retreat. So you can sort of move it out of the way. You can do Hypnosis perhaps. It's the best one because of the retreat. And that's basically it. There's a few other options, but I think most players would agree this is the best one. Jason Krasinski, he's also choosing this one to run in his DP decks. So, okay. And then we do the double Claydol, kind of standard. This is your draw power for a deck like this. We kind of need it. We got Spiritombs too, so it makes even more sense to run this. So do 2 of this, and then do double of the Ball Toy. This one with Psychic Balance. Maybe it'll help us draw cards. Probably not, but you never know. So got this. There's also a Psychic option, but this is just more consistent, I think. Okay, and then do the 1 Uxie. Pretty self-explanatory. Play this down, draw into have 7, just very, very good. So run 1 copy. In case things go wrong, you can just search this and try and draw. And I got the 4 Spiritomb, of course. I believe this card is just fully necessary in in most non-SP decks. You slow the game down, and then you get enough time to evolve into all our different Pokemon. Now, if you evolve Croconaw through this, you don't get to use the Poké Power, and that sucks, of course, but it makes sense. So what you're going to want to do is use this to evolve into Bronzong, use this to evolve into Claydol. Then hopefully, because we run a lot of Croconaws and we have ways to search them, you're going to get the Croconaw, play it down from your hand, so you can still use the Poké Power, and then through Spiritomb evolve into the Feraligatr. That's the best way to do things. Now, of course, if you don't have a choice, you're going to evolve into Croconaw too, but do keep in mind, you're not going to get the Poké Power if you evolve through this with Croconaw. But it's still, even with that, it's the best way, I think, to run this deck as opposed to just not running Spiritomb and running rare candies. Especially because if your opponent runs this and then you run a bunch of trainers, they're going to stop you. So might as well join the Spiritomb gang, I guess, from this card. Okay, it's our best opener besides the Kyogre. Obvious stuff. Then I do 2 of the Broken Time Space. This is going to help us evolve quickly into the stage 2s. Play the stage 1s down. Play the Croconaw, get the plus, all that good stuff. So I just run 2. This was a very popular stadium, so it's very likely your opponent is going to have 1 down as well. So just 2 copies is enough. With Spiritomb, we don't have to over-rely on it. And space is always an issue in decks, especially in this one. Okay, so that's the stadium. Supporters is going to be 3 Pokemon collectors. Now, this is great because it basically is going to let me get a bunch of Pokemon. It's just a great card, so we run it. Get a bunch of Pokemon in hand. Then I do the 4 Professor Oak's New Theory. Makes sense. This is just a great supporter card. Just a lot of draw power if you play this with a thin hand, and we need this, so max it out. It's too good. I got double of Felicity's Drawing. Now, this is a good straight draw supporter, and it's also an outlet to get rid of cards that I don't need. Extra Spiritombs, other random stuff we may not use. Maybe extra supporters, so I want to have it. Solid. And then I got 1 BB Search and 1 Professor Elm's Training Method. So the Elm might seem sort of random. You might ask, why don't you just do double BB Search? 9 times out of 10 with BB Search, you want to get evolution Pokemon. You don't want to burn this to get basic Pokemon. Yeah, I guess you can make the play where you get Uxie and you draw cards that way, but we don't want to make such a bad play. Like, if we have to make a play like that, we're already sort of in a losing battle. So I got the Elm because basically it's going to do the same thing as BB, but just for evolution Pokemon, and it's costless. So I don't got to pay anything, and I kind of like it. Since this is available in the format, I do 1 and 1. If it was DP only, then I do more BB Search, but in this case, we got more options. I want to utilize the Elm as well. So just get our evolution Pokemon, get Croconaw, Feraligatr, all that good stuff. Get the Claydol. That's usually the best thing you're going to get early in the game anyway. So they'll do the job. Alright. Then I do the double Fisherman. This is kind of important in this deck because we burn water energies, especially if we attack with the Kyogre. And it's just good to have this in this kind of a deck. Have the extra as well, in case we want to discard it with Felicity. In the beginning, we just sort of don't need it. You know, if Feraligatr is dying, you're losing a lot of water energy, so you want to get them back. So 2 of this makes sense in my head. Okay. And then I do the 1 luxury ball. That was all the supporters. I don't do Rosane's search because we got the collector and we got other ways to get water energies. You don't want to use, you'd rather not use Rosane in this deck, I think, with all the other options, unless you build it differently. But anyway, the 1 luxury ball, get anything. Then we got the double Pokemon communication. That's another reason why I'm not too fond of BB, because this is basically like a BB search in the form of a trainer. You got to put a Pokemon in, but we got enough Pokemon as it is, and 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have those spare Spiritombs or other Pokemon you don't need, so it's pretty much just usually always gonna be better than BB search. Now obviously BB search you can play it through Spiritomb and other trainer lock, but this is still such a great card, you gotta run it. I mean, hard gold format, hard gold to silver format, you gotta run a few copies of this. So our method to get more evolution in basic Pokemon. Then I do the 1 night maintenance. This is Pokemon recovery, but it can also be energy recovery too, if you really need to. So just run that. And got the 1 switch as well. These are all of the trainers. I don't run too many. I think it's just 5 or 6 maybe. So yeah, 2, 4, 5, yeah, with the luxury ball. We don't run a lot, obviously, because of Spiritomb. We don't want to rely on them. But switch is a nice thing to have in case something gets stuck. It's a handy card, so run 1. And then the last thing is the energies, just 12 water energies, nothing else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you got yourself a Feraligatr Prime deck. It's very, very, I guess, simple in a way. You just get the dude out, attach water energies, do damage. You want to have perhaps Bronzong in the beginning to sort of spread damage around, and then Blastoise can come in for the kills. Kyogre is also another good attacker, and that's basically the deck. There's other ways to build it too. As I've said, you could just do more Kyogre, try and just attach a bunch of energies through his first attack on these guys until you get the Feraligatr Prime out. There's other water attackers you can use, but I think this is a very consistent and effective build as it is. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. That's gonna do it for Feraligatr Prime. I shouldn't have any other DP deck profiles for a while, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share the video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What-ay?